Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Katherine Young and I'm a creative, and welcome if it is your first time here as well. This is kind of a weird video for me. So this video is completely out of my comfort zone, and today we are gonna do a vintage Disneyland recipe from the 50s. Now I have a bunch of vintage cookbooks, and really for me, it's about the visuals. I love vintage ephemera and I just love the way they look and the cute graphics. It really has nothing to do with me being a good cook. I mean, just look at this adorable old cookbook. It has the cutest darn pictures all the way through. Things like this, it just, as an artist, I love all of this. I think it's so great. Look how cute. Oh my goodness. I mean, and look at this page. So yeah, I just really love vintage cookbooks. They're great ephemera. The graphics are beautiful. And I've gotten some great vintage cookbooks from the Trusty Huckster Mercantile. And that's where the idea for this video was born. This video is to celebrate Patrick's birthday. And so, you know, what I decided to do is I was like, I am gonna participate in the birthday challenge and I'm gonna cook a vintage recipe. So, you know, I got some different cookbooks here, super cute. But what ended up happening is actually, I think my most recent cookbook I picked up from him, ended up being the winner because honestly, I am not a good cook. I needed something easy. And this is a Chicken of the Sea cookbook. And it is from their 50th anniversary. And you can just tell by the graphics, this is for sure the 60s. And in here is a recipe from Disneyland. And so I was like, yes, let's do this. And it's such a simple recipe. It is Chicken of the Sea Disneyland tuna burgers. And since Disneyland opened in 1955 and Chicken of the Sea actually sponsored a restaurant there, I know that this recipe is from the 50s. So here is the adorable recipe and the graphics. So if you want to screen grab that for later, that is it. The official Chicken of the Sea recipe for Disneyland. And so what I did is I looked in my fridge to see what I all had for this recipe. Surprise, surprise, I only had 3 items. Y'all, I just don't cook. And so I went on the great journey that is Target Drive Up and I bought more items. And let's ride. All right, and brought the items back and I got everything on the list. I did make a few modifications. So in this recipe, it says sweet pickle slices. Well, I only have a small, like regular size Target. It's not a super Target, and they didn't have sweet pickles. So I picked up a sweet relish. I also super hate pickles, so I thought sweet relish might be a little better. Also, I realized that I picked up some King's Hawaiian buns. It doesn't call for like sweet buns in this recipe, but this recipe sounds kind of gross to me. So I thought maybe I could counteract it with the sweetness. And then I also realized that I did this wrong. I shouldn't have gotten pre-cut buns. These are pre-cut. So that I did wrong in this recipe as well. I'm supposed to cut the buns myself into 3. So, but that's okay. So yeah, here we go. So I chopped up a bunch of onions and celery. So there is my onions and celery. I chopped them up really finely because yeah, I think it's gonna taste better that way. Okay, and then I'm gonna add my Chicken of the Sea. Now this can is a little bit bigger than the can in the recipe. So I just know to not add the full can. Oof, this super stinks. So I'm sure my cats can smell this. So I'm gonna add about half this can because that's what the recipe calls for. Yeah, that looks like about half, all right. And then my Target only had an actual lemon. It didn't have the lemon juice in the bottle. So I'm gonna use this to add lemon. Oh yeah, that totally worked. I made a big old mess. And then 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Okay, so now I have my lemon juice, my mayonnaise, my tuna, and there's celery in here, and there is onion as well. I'm just mixing this all up. So some of you may know that I used to work for Disney. So that's why this recipe was near and dear to my heart. I worked for Disney 3 times in my life. Once at 19, I worked in the parks, everything from taking tickets to embroidering t-shirts to hosing down strollers and cleaning bathrooms. And then I went back and I worked another 2.5 years as an intern and a contractor in marketing, doing graphic design. Okay, I think this looks good. So one thing I got wrong with this recipe is I got pre-cut buns. So that wasn't correct, but that's okay. I'm just kind of gonna like rob other buns for the other piece because this needs to be a double-decker sandwich. So it needs 3 layers. So we're just gonna kind of, you know, make do. So the recipe calls for a mixture of mayonnaise and ketchup to be put on the bottom layer of the burgers. So I'm just gonna mix that up. I'm not being super careful about this. In fact, I know I'm making too much, but whatever. I'll spread what I think works. Okay, so that looks pretty good. This is actually the part of the recipe that I feel is super 1950s. Like I feel like you wouldn't put ketchup on anything tuna. Okay, but here we go. Okay, so the recipe says make a layer of the ketchup mayo concoction. So we're gonna do that on the first layer. And then it says make a row of pickles. Now remember, I grabbed relish because I don't like pickles. And I thought sweet relish would be like at least a little better texture for me because I don't like pickles. So, and then we'll add this. Then we'll add a layer of this. Oh my God, y'all, this just looks like the 1950s. Ew, that just looks gross. Okay, then we'll add our tuna mixture on top of that. And then we're gonna do another decker of it. Okay, so the ketchup and mayo. All right, relish. And some tuna mixture. All right, and there we have it. Ew, ew. Now I'm gonna make 2 of these because what kind of party guest would I be if I only brought one for myself? All right, there is my second one. So these are a total mess. Stuff is leaking out everywhere, as you can see. This is the easiest recipe I could find, and it's still turning out like a disaster, but I got it on this nice 1950s snack tray, right? And so now what I'm gonna do is wrap them in tin foil and we're gonna go bake them. All right, I got both my sandwiches all wrapped up and yeah, time to put them in the oven. And I suppose, you know, if this is a Disneyland recipe, it's time to get dapper and ready for the party. So here we go. Oh, hello. I am all dressed up, ready for the party. Oof. Oh, it feels like Disneyland in here, I tell ya. Cheers to everyone putting up with my ridiculousness. Okay, so I got our 2 baked potato looking things here, and let's check it out. Does it actually smell okay? It actually smells pretty Ooh, this is gonna be messy though. All right, one moment. Okay, so this actually kind of looks like a melty, yummy mess. What's a little sad is it looks like it's like melty cheese. There's no cheese in this. That's the ketchup coloring it that color, so that's a little sad. The bottom layer is like, oh, the bottom layer is basically gone. So my wishes of grandeur of eating this on my cute little snack tray are kind of gone. So we're gonna have to fork into this one. Oh yeah, see, this is a pile of mush. This is gone. All right. Think I got everything in one bite. Cheers. Hot, hot. That was hot. You know, it's not horrible. I wouldn't say it's actually good. Like I can eat it and I'm not like gagging or anything. But yeah, I think I was a little generous with my portioning of all the dressings and stuff. And I think it just turned it into mush. I would highly recommend using the sweet bread, which I did. I used sweet buns, King's Hawaiian buns. I think that sweetness helps. Especially with that like ketchup in there, that's kind of gross. And I think the sweetness kind of counteracts it a little bit. But yeah, not a total failure, but not a total success either. So happy birthday, Patrick. And if you love old vintage ephemera like this, cool old vintage cookbooks, or especially like this amazing book, right? Patrick is your guy, so follow that account. And then let me give you one last look at that recipe if you want to screen grab it and try it yourself. And that is it. Stay creative. Bye, y'all. This is what we're dealing with. It's mush and it's all stuck to the thing. I mean, it kind of is horrible. I mean, I don't want to eat anymore. Let's be honest. My hair is crazy. This is all crazy, but I'm all for presentation. I really just wanted an excuse to dress up. Don't get those when you're in a pandemic all that often. Yeah, it's never gonna ding. I give up. Oh, I literally just stood up and it finally dinged. Ugh.